There is a silent battle happening inside every human being, a battle between discipline and distraction, between reason and emotion, between the person you are today and the person you could become. Most people spend their lives trying to control the world around them. They want to control other people's opinions, outcomes, luck, success, timing, and circumstances. But the ancient Stoics believed that this is the wrong battlefield. According to Stoicism, true power begins the moment you stop trying to control everything outside yourself and start mastering what is within. Your thoughts, your reactions, your habits, your fears, your desires. Nearly 2,000 years ago, philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca taught principles that remain astonishingly relevant today. These men lived through wars, betrayal, political chaos, illness, exile, and hardship. Yet they developed a mindset that allowed them to remain calm, focused, and internally free. Stoicism is not about becoming emotionless. It is not about suppressing your humanity. It is about becoming stronger than your impulses and wiser than your emotions. It is about learning how to stand firm when life becomes difficult. In today's world of endless noise, social media pressure, comparison, anxiety, and distraction, Stoicism may be more valuable than ever before. In this video, we'll explore 15 Stoic tips for mastering yourself. These lessons can help you become mentally stronger, emotionally stable, and more disciplined in every area of your life. Let's begin. Control what you can control. The foundation of Stoicism begins with one simple but life-changing idea. Some things are within your control, and some things are not. Epictetus taught that peace comes from focusing only on what you can control. Your thoughts, actions, choices, and attitude belong to you. But external events, other people's opinions and outcomes do not. Most suffering comes from trying to force reality into our expectations. You cannot control whether people like you. You cannot control the economy. You cannot control the past. You cannot control every outcome. But you can control how you respond. A Stoic asks, "What is in my power right now?" This mindset immediately removes unnecessary anxiety. Imagine how much energy people waste worrying about things they cannot change. They replay conversations in their heads. They obsess over criticism. They fear uncertain futures. Meanwhile, the Stoic focuses only on action, not panic, not complaint. Action. Mastering yourself begins when you stop giving your emotional energy to things outside your control. Discipline your mind daily. Your mind is like a garden. If you do not consciously plant discipline, weeds will grow automatically. Negative thinking, laziness, envy, fear, and distraction will take over unless you train your mind consistently. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his journal every day to remind himself how to think properly. Even as a Roman emperor, he understood that the mind must be trained continuously. Self-mastery is not achieved once. It is practiced daily. Your thoughts shape your actions. Your actions shape your habits shape your character, and your character shapes your destiny. Modern life constantly attacks your attention. Notifications, entertainment, gossip, outrage, and comparison pull your mind in every direction. A Stoic protects the mind carefully. Ask yourself, what am I feeding my mind every day? If you consume negativity constantly, your inner world becomes chaotic. But if you train your mind with wisdom, reflection, and discipline, you become stronger over time. Mental discipline means catching destructive thoughts before they control you. Not every thought deserves your belief. You can observe your emotions without obeying them. That is real power. Stop seeking validation. One of the fastest ways to lose yourself is to live for other people's approval. Many people are trapped in invisible prisons built from the opinions of others. They dress for approval, speak for approval, post online for approval. even make life decisions based on approval. The Stoics warned against this. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself that fame and praise are temporary and meaningless. People's opinions change constantly. Today they admire you, tomorrow they criticize you. If your self-worth depends on external validation, your peace will always be fragile. A person who masters themselves does not need applause to feel valuable. This does not mean becoming arrogant or isolated. It means learning to stand on your own principles instead of constantly chasing acceptance. When you stop needing everyone to approve of you, you become free. Free to think independently. Free to act courageously. Free to live authentically. Not everyone will understand your path. That is okay. The Stoic goal is not popularity. It is integrity. Practice. Voluntary discomfort. Comfort can quietly weaken you. The Stoics intentionally practiced discomfort to strengthen their minds and bodies. Seneca would sometimes sleep on the floor or eat simple food even though he was wealthy. Why? Because he wanted to prove to himself that he could survive hardship. Modern society teaches people to avoid discomfort at all costs. But growth lives inside discomfort. Discomfort builds resilience. Discomfort builds discipline. Discomfort builds confidence. When you voluntarily challenge yourself, fear loses its power over you. Take cold showers. Exercise consistently. Wake up earlier. Spend time alone without distractions. Learn difficult skills. These small acts train your mind to tolerate hardship. A person addicted to comfort becomes fragile, but a person who trains themselves to endure difficulty becomes mentally unshakable. Stoicism teaches that suffering is not always an enemy. Sometimes it is a teacher. The more comfortable you become with discomfort, the stronger you become in life. Guard your time. Carefully. The Stoics believed that time is your most valuable possession. Not money, not status. Time. Seneca wrote that people protect their property carefully, but waste their lives without hesitation. Think about how many hours disappear every day through distraction. Scrolling endlessly, watching meaningless content, arguing online, complaining, procrastinating. Meanwhile, life continues moving forward. Every day you are either building yourself or weakening yourself. A Stoic understands that life is limited. This awareness creates urgency, not panic, purpose. When you respect your time, your choices become sharper. You stop giving energy to meaningless drama and shallow distractions. Ask yourself, is this activity helping me become stronger, wiser, or better? If not, why am I giving my life to it? Mastering yourself means becoming intentional with your time, because wasted hours eventually become wasted years. Learn to remain calm. Anyone can remain calm when life is easy. The true test of character appears during difficulty. Stoicism teaches emotional control, not emotional suppression. There is a difference. A Stoic feels emotions but refuses to become enslaved by them. When anger appears, they pause before reacting. When fear appears, they examine it rationally. When stress appears, they remain grounded. Why? Because uncontrolled emotion leads to poor decisions. Many people destroy relationships, careers, and opportunities because they react impulsively. The Stoics understood that external events are not what disturb us most. Our interpretation of them is. Two people can face the same hardship and respond completely differently. One collapses. The other adapts. The difference lies in mindset. Calmness is a superpower in a chaotic world. When everyone else is panicking, the calm person sees clearly. Train yourself to pause before reacting. Take a breath. Observe your emotions. Respond with reason instead of impulse. That is self-mastery. Accept reality instead of fighting it. One of the deepest causes of suffering is resistance to reality. People constantly say, "This shouldn't have happened. This is unfair. Why me?" But reality does not change because we dislike it. The Stoics believed that wisdom begins with acceptance. Acceptance does not mean weakness or passivity. It means seeing reality clearly instead of wasting energy denying it. If something painful has happened, face it honestly. If a relationship ended, accept it. If you failed, learn from it. If life changed unexpectedly, adapt. The more you resist reality, the more pain you create. Marcus Aurelius taught himself to embrace events as part of nature itself. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "How can I use this to grow?" This shift transforms suffering into strength. A person who accepts reality becomes adaptable, resilient, and mentally free. Speak less and listen more. The Stoics valued silence, not because they feared speaking, but because they understood the power of restraint. Most people speak too much and think too little. They interrupt, argue unnecessarily, gossip, seek attention, but wisdom often grows in silence. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." When you listen carefully, you learn more about people, situations, and yourself. Silence also gives you emotional control. People who react instantly are easier to manipulate, but people who pause and observe remain powerful. Not every insult deserves a response. Not every argument deserves your energy. Sometimes, silence is strength. Mastering yourself means learning when to speak and when to remain still. Detach from materialism. Modern culture constantly tells people that happiness comes from possessions. More money, more luxury, more status. But the Stoics warned that attachment to external things creates dependence. If your happiness depends on possessions, then your peace can be taken away at any moment. Stoicism does not say wealth is evil. It says wealth should not control you. A Stoic can enjoy success without becoming enslaved by it. True wealth is inner stability. Can you remain calm without luxury? Can you remain confident without status? Can you remain grateful during simplicity? That is freedom. Many wealthy people are emotionally miserable because they never mastered themselves. Meanwhile, some people with very little possess extraordinary peace. Material things are temporary. Character lasts longer. Remember that you will die. This may sound dark, but the Stoics practiced remembering death regularly. Why? Because awareness of death makes life meaningful. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly that life is short. This helped him focus on what truly mattered. Most people live as though they have unlimited time, so they delay growth, delay honesty, delay courage, delay living fully. But one day, time runs out. Stoicism teaches that remembering mortality creates clarity. When you remember that life is temporary, petty drama becomes less important, fear becomes smaller, excuses lose power. You stop wasting time pretending you will live forever. Instead, you begin living intentionally. Death is not meant to terrify you. It is meant to awaken you. Build inner confidence. True confidence does not come from appearance, popularity, or success. It comes from trust in yourself. A Stoic builds confidence through action and character, keeping promises to yourself, facing challenges directly, doing difficult things consistently. Every time you act with courage, you strengthen self-respect, and self-respect creates lasting confidence. External confidence can disappear quickly, but inner confidence remains stable because it is built on who you are, not what others think. A person who masters themselves does not need to pretend to be strong. They become strong quietly. Build inner confidence. True confidence does not come from appearance, popularity, or success. It comes from trust in yourself. A Stoic builds confidence through action and character, keeping promises to yourself, facing challenges directly, doing difficult things consistently. Every time you act with courage, you strengthen self-respect, and self-respect creates lasting confidence. External confidence can disappear quickly, but inner confidence remains stable because it is built on who you are, not what others think. A person who masters themselves does not need to pretend to be strong. They become strong quietly. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Stoicism teaches that obstacles are not interruptions to life. They are part of life. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The obstacle is the way." Every challenge contains an opportunity for growth. Difficult people teach patience. Failure teaches wisdom. Pain teaches resilience. Most people ask, "How do I avoid difficulty?" Stoics ask, "How can this make me stronger?" This mindset transforms adversity. Instead of becoming bitter, you become wiser. Instead of collapsing under pressure, you develop strength. Life will never be free from obstacles, but you can change your relationship with them. That is mastery. Protect your inner peace. Your peace is valuable. Do not hand it away carelessly. Many people allow social media, toxic relationships, news cycles, and negativity to constantly disturb their minds. A Stoic protects their inner world carefully. Not everything deserves your emotional reaction. You do not need to attend every argument you are invited to. You do not need to absorb everyone else's chaos. Sometimes protecting your peace means setting boundaries, spending less time with negative people, reducing unnecessary noise, creating moments of solitude and reflection. Peace is not weakness. It is strength under control. The person who remains internally calm while the world becomes chaotic possesses rare power. Take responsibility for your life. Stoicism rejects the mindset of victimhood. No matter what has happened in your past, you are still responsible for your choices today. This is empowering, because responsibility gives you power. Blaming others may feel temporarily comforting, but it keeps you stuck. A Stoic focuses on action instead of excuses. You may not control what happened to you, but you control how you respond now. Self-mastery begins when you stop waiting for rescue. No one is coming to save you. You must become stronger yourself. This mindset creates independence, resilience, and growth. The more responsibility you take, the more powerful you become. Become your own teacher. The Stoics believed in constant self-reflection. Every day they examined their actions, thoughts, and behavior. Seneca would review his day each night and ask himself, "What did I do well? What mistakes did I make? How can I improve tomorrow?" This habit creates awareness. Without self-reflection, people repeat the same mistakes for years. Growth requires honesty. You must be willing to confront your weaknesses without lying to yourself. Mastering yourself means becoming both the student and the teacher. Learn from your failures, study your habits, observe your emotions. Over time, this awareness transforms you. The greatest project you will ever work on is yourself. Conclusion. Stoicism is not about becoming perfect. It is about becoming stronger, wiser, calmer, and more disciplined little by little each day. Self-mastery is a lifelong journey. There will still be difficult moments. There will still be setbacks. There will still be pain. But Stoicism teaches you how to face life with courage instead of fear. Remember these lessons. Control what you can. Discipline your mind. Stop seeking validation. Embrace discomfort. Protect your time. Remain calm. Accept reality. Listen more. Detach from materialism. Remember death. Build inner confidence. Use obstacles as growth. Protect your peace. Take responsibility. Reflect daily. These principles have guided strong minds for centuries. And they remain powerful today because human nature has not changed. The world will always contain chaos. But you do not have to become chaotic with it. Master yourself, and you can face almost anything life brings, because true power is not controlling the world. True power is controlling yourself.